After moving to a secluded house, he accidentally discovered a room that grants any wish. Money, food, jewels, anything he desires appears within seconds. But when his wife wishes for something she shouldn't, their life of luxury turns into a deadly trap. Matt and Kate are a married couple going through a tough stretch in their relationship. Matt, an artist, has lost his creative spark, so they decide to move to a secluded estate in Westminster. The house is old and in need of serious repairs, but between their strained relationship and busy lives, they lack the time and energy to fix it up. Trying to make some progress, they begin clearing out years of clutter, but arguments and unresolved tensions simmer beneath the surface. Despite the strain, Kate reminds herself she's doing this for Matt and takes the first step toward reconciliation, doing her best to support him. One day, Kate finds a dead bird in the kitchen and decides to take it outside. She's distracted for just a moment when the bird suddenly vanishes without a trace. Meanwhile, Matt starts dismantling some old furniture and uncovers a hidden hole in the wall. Pulling away peeling wallpaper, he reveals a heavy steel door. After searching through the clutter, he finds a key and opens it to discover an empty room, its purpose completely unknown. Noticing the house has electrical problems, they decide to call an electrician to help make the home more livable. The next morning, Matt tries to reignite his creative fire and start a new painting. Kate fully supports him, even turning down a translation job because she believes in him and wants to be by his side during this difficult time. Matt revisits the mysterious room but finds nothing unusual. Then the electrician arrives, quickly overwhelmed by the tangled, complex wiring inside the house, something he's never seen before. He promises to return soon, visibly surprised the house has new owners, especially after the previous residents were reportedly murdered within its walls. Curious, Matt digs deeper online and finds newspaper clippings revealing the house's dark past. 45 years ago, the Sheffer family lived there, but both were brutally murdered by an unknown assailant. The killer is still known only as John Doe, his true identity a mystery to this day. Haunted by the image of this man, Matt struggles to sleep and turns to alcohol for comfort. One night, in the mysterious room, he contemplates who built it and why. When he runs out of alcohol, the lights flicker, and suddenly, a fresh bottle appears just a few steps away. Shocked and confused, Matt decides to test this strange phenomenon. One morning, Kate notices a problem with the lighting and calls for her husband. When she hears he's in the mysterious room, she heads there and finds Matt surrounded by paintings. He claims that the original Van Gogh and other valuable artworks are in that room. Kate thinks he's too drunk to make sense, but he suggests they test the power of the room by making a wish. Kate asks for $1,000, and Matt starts digging through things to find the cash. She brushes it off as a coincidence, assuming he just hid the money somewhere. Then she decides to wish for $1 million. The lights dim, and suddenly the requested amount appears before them. What's happening both scares and fascinates the couple. Instead of running away and locking the room forever, they give in to temptation and keep making wishes. Matt and Kate wish for hundreds of millions of dollars, expensive suits, and jewelry. The room, like a magical treasure chest, grants every wish. It fills them with excitement and rekindles the romance in their relationship. That evening, Kate asks the room for sexy lingerie, and Matt showers her with flowers, black caviar, and diamonds. Surrounded by luxury, they throw a party, and Kate decides to quit her thankless, low-paying job. It seems their life is becoming perfect, but getting everything so easily makes them lose interest. Kate loses a precious necklace and doesn't feel upset because everything the room creates is an illusion. She can ask for 1, 2, or even 10 more necklaces, but none of it brings back the thrill they once felt. Kate sinks into depression because the room's gifts have no real value. Trying to cheer her up, Matt asks the room for a baby crib and suggests they try to have a child. This shocks Kate and brings her to tears. They've already tried to have a baby before but suffered 2 miscarriages. She's not ready to go through that pain again and, overwhelmed, runs out of the room. Matt is also struggling, so he decides to take a drive around the neighborhood. When he returns home, he sees a flickering light and realizes Kate has made another wish. Hearing strange sounds coming from the bedroom, he goes in and is shocked to find that Kate has wished for a baby. Panic-stricken, Matt demands they undo the wish, saying a child isn't a thing to be wished for, and their desires have gone too far. He suggests they try conceiving the traditional way, but Kate refuses, believing this is the only right and painless option. Matt insists such wishes have gone too far and urges Kate to get rid of the baby, reminding her it's just an illusion. With tears in her eyes, Kate enters the wish room but can't bring herself to say those words out loud. The baby cries in her arms and feels too real to let go. Matt tries to take control of the situation and the baby, but he also can't bring himself to do it, feeling it would be like murder. In the end, the couple decides to keep the baby and become loving parents. That night, they face their first challenge. The baby won't stop crying. Using the wish room, Matt asks for a bottle of milk, but when he returns to the bedroom, they realize Kate can actually breastfeed the baby. Surprised, they accept this as a gift from fate. The next morning, Matt keeps reading about a killer named John Doe. When he finishes the article, he learns that the man is actually alive and currently in a psychiatric hospital. Apparently, John Doe claimed that it was the room that made him kill 2 people, a claim that seemed completely insane. Curious, Matt takes some money from the wish room and heads to the hospital. Visiting unnamed patients is forbidden, but Matt manages to get in by pretending to be a journalist. When they meet, John Doe quickly figures out that Matt isn't a reporter but the new owner of the house. He smiles knowingly, realizing Matt has discovered the room and become obsessed with it. After all, it turns dreams into reality. John Doe repeats that the room drove him to murder and warns the couple to leave the house and forget about the room forever. Before Matt leaves, John Doe says a strange phrase: "Scarier than the one who can't get what they want is the one who gets everything they want." On his way home, Matt stops at a gas station and is shocked to discover that all the money he had has turned to dust. When he gets back, he throws the money out the window and watches as it instantly turns to ash. Continuing his experiments with items from the wish room, he leaves a Van Gogh painting on the doorstep and notices that the part of the painting outside the house ages rapidly and then crumbles to ashes. Matt is stunned and panics over what's happening. Grabbing a hammer, he starts smashing the floors and walls, trying to figure out how the wish room works. After tearing apart almost the entire house, he uncovers wiring made up of millions of tiny wires hidden behind the walls and under the floorboards of the old house. On one wall, he finds a pattern resembling a microchip and realizes this is something like an ancient, mystical computer, though its purpose remains a complete mystery to him. Tired of the constant noise and Matt's unraveling sanity, his wife decides to step outside for some fresh air with their baby. Matt warns her it's dangerous and that the consequences could be irreversible, but Kate ignores him. As soon as she steps outside, something strange starts happening to the baby. Panicked, Kate rushes back, but Matt locks himself inside, torn between saving the baby or leaving things as they are so the child would disappear and turn to ash. Wrestling with his conscience, Matt ultimately decides to save the baby, but now the child has grown into a 10-year-old boy instead of a newborn. Kate names him Shane and devotes all her time to raising him, fully focused on his upbringing. Matt believes things have gone too far and reminds Kate that anything created by the wish room isn't supposed to leave the house. In that sense, Shane isn't a real person but a thing, a fiction that will vanish once outside. Trying to accept this, Kate forbids Shane from leaving the house, explaining it's due to viruses and bacteria that could harm his health. She struggles a lot with raising Shane, who sometimes becomes aggressive and disobedient. The boy dreams of going outside and often rushes to the window like a dog to watch people passing by near their home. Amid all this, their marriage begins to fall apart. Matt doesn't share Kate's views and distances himself not only from Shane but from Kate as well. Soon, he buys a pistol and starts going into the woods to practice shooting at cans. Curiosity continues to outweigh fear, and Shane decides to test if it's really so dangerous outside. He cracks open the door and reaches his hand out, but Kate notices just in time and stops him. A few hours later, she begins boarding up the windows and doors to keep Shane from escaping the house that has become his prison. Matt doesn't agree with Kate's approach but helps her protect Shane from the dangers that await him beyond the walls. The following days continue to be tough for everyone in the household. Kate is exhausted by Shane's growing lack of control. He throws his toys around, chews on ice, and ignores her pleas. Matt completely isolates himself in his room, diving into his art, creating unsettling images and shapes. At night, Shane asks his mom not to be mad at him and lies down beside her. He tells her he loves her deeply and wants to always be close, no matter what obstacles come their way. The next day, Shane enters his father's room and accidentally breaks a glass orb, sparking another family argument. Kate begs Matt not to yell at their son, but Matt refuses to see Shane as his child, reminding everyone that Shane is just a fiction. Fearing his parents' anger, Shane retreats to another room and starts exploring the house. He notices strange wiring and a diagram on the wall, leading him to discover the wish room. The next morning, Matt finds a whole glass orb and is shaken by it. Realizing Shane is behind it, not Kate, Matt and Kate rush to the wish room. There, they find a part of the forest inaccessible to Shane, where he controls everything that happens. The wish room becomes the only way for Shane to leave the house, to play with a snowman and enjoy birdsong. In a fit of anger, Matt forces Shane out of the room and locks it with a key. He's terrified of the possible consequences. Shane might wish for something that could end up killing them all. Their tense conflict is interrupted by a phone call from John, which Shane answers. Matt forbids Shane from talking to strangers and decides to confront John himself. John admits that, like Shane, he came into existence the same way, so he's not entirely human either. As it turns out, there's a way for a fiction to live outside the house. The creator has to be killed. That's exactly what John did. He killed his mother, who had killed his father. Now Matt faces an impossible choice: save his wife by killing the child, or kill Kate so Shane can live outside the house like a normal person. Kate overhears the phone conversation and, terrified, runs off to be alone and process everything she's just heard. Shane and Matt grow increasingly anxious over Kate's absence, and their frustration starts to unravel them. They lash out, smashing everything around them as they vent their anger and disappointment. That evening, Matt tries to have dinner with Shane, but the boy asks silly questions that quickly irritate him. Unable to hold back, Matt finally tells Shane the truth. He has no father, and Kate isn't really his mother, since Shane is just a fiction. Shane is a creation of the wish room and isn't fully human. The boy doesn't believe him, so in a fit of anger, Matt challenges Shane to go outside, knowing he'll die if he does. Scared and realizing Matt isn't joking, Shane runs back to his room. Feeling guilty for being too harsh, Matt apologizes and reads Shane bedtime stories to make amends. That evening, Kate returns home to talk everything over with Matt again. It's been a painful ordeal for both of them, but their love remains strong. With tears in their eyes, Kate and Matt reunite and make love in the kitchen, unaware that Shane is secretly watching them. The next morning, the couple wakes to the sound of the front door slamming. When they go downstairs, they find the door wide open, belongings scattered everywhere, and Shane sitting on the swings outside. But Shane is no longer a boy, he's transformed into a young man in his 20s. Though his mind still holds the innocence of a child and he struggles to understand much, none of that matters because there's a gun in his hand. Shane accuses Kate of lying to him about everything, then turns on Matt, threatening to shoot him for the terrible way he's been treated over the past months. Kate tries to shield Matt with her body and calm them both. Matt can't hold back and attacks Shane, pushing Kate aside, and she falls, hitting her head on the piano and losing consciousness. Meanwhile, Matt and Shane struggle on the floor, wrestling for control of the gun, desperate to eliminate the threat once and for all. Sometime later, Kate slowly regains consciousness and sees her husband sitting nearby. Matt tells her he killed Shane and carried his body outside, where it turned to dust. Overwhelmed, Kate breaks down in tears but reluctantly accepts this harsh new reality. During lunch, she suggests they leave town and start fresh somewhere else, but Matt dismisses the idea as rash and unwise. After all, they have the wish room, a place that grants any desire, and here, they believe they can finally be happy. But Matt's behavior unsettles Kate, especially when she notices him chewing ice, just like Shane did before. Meanwhile, the real Matt awakens and realizes Shane and Kate have vanished. After searching the entire property, he discovers that Shane found the key and locked himself inside the wish room. Armed with a hammer, Matt smashes through a wall and crawls through a tangled maze of cables to reach the hidden space. Once inside, he steps into the alternate world Shane created. Racing through a forest, Matt finds a perfect replica of their house and understands Shane's twisted game. He's playing God. Matt attempts to reconnect with Kate, but she's distant and unreceptive. Then, in a chilling reveal, he unmasks himself. He's actually Shane, disguised by a wish that transformed him into Matt. Kate recoils and tries to escape, but Shane grabs her, slamming her head against the wall before overpowering her. Hearing the real Matt breaking into the house, Shane hides in another room. Soon, the two Matts face off, forcing Kate into a desperate choice. Both try to prove they're the real Matt and sway her loyalty. The real Matt's tender use of Kate's nickname gives her the clue she needs. She pushes Shane down the stairs. The couple attempts to flee, but Shane controls this distorted world completely, trapping them in a labyrinth with no escape. Regaining control, Shane asks the wish room for a knife and savagely kills Matt. Kate stands frozen, silent in the face of Shane's threats. But it was all a trick. The Kate and Matt she's facing are illusions created by the real couple. They figured out how to manipulate the wish room, creating clones to distract Shane and slip away. Breaking free from the virtual trap, they force Shane back into reality. Knowing there's no turning back, Matt provokes Shane to attack him, all part of their plan. Kate opens the door, and both tumble outside, locking the front door behind them. She watches in stunned silence as Shane rapidly ages into an old man, then dies, crumbling into ash. 1 month later, the couple leaves the house and settles into a modest motel nearby. Matt returns to their room with coffee, but Kate doesn't answer. She's in shock. She's just received a positive pregnancy test but doesn't know who the father is, her husband, or her son. The motel's lamp flickers ominously, a chilling hint that they may still be trapped in the wish room. The nightmare isn't over. If a wish could come true instantly, would it lose its meaning? What really makes a dream real, the journey or the destination? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.